To lead a movement like the Urban League, you have to love the people that you serve and the people that you do the work for every single day. And you know what? The Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League loves all of you and all of the people that we serve. We have a great meeting plan for this evening, so let's get right to it. Now I'm introducing to the stage our host for the evening, Jennifer Bush,
Yes.
Executive Director of this beautiful facility.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Jennifer.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance just to welcome all of you. Welcome to the Delaware Children's Museum. We're so glad that you all are here. It's such an honor to have met the CEO, Jen Tompkins. We met, and just the two Jens, Jen and Jen, we instantly connected, and through our connection, our organizations became more connected. That's how things work. And we feel like this is just the beginning. So we just hope that our friendship will grow and our organizational friendship will grow. So thank you. And thank you to staff for being here. Thank you, DCM staff. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We love you. And thank you for all of your work. It is very important. The DCM is honored to be your host this evening. The Children's Museum wants all children to see a reflection of themselves in the museum at all levels and in all exhibits. We have a lot of work to continue to do. We have a lot to learn, and we're trying to do a lot of learning and a lot of listening. And this is part of our journey. So thank you. Welcome to the Museum of First Experiences. I promised I would keep this short. That's not my strength. So I now hand the microphone to... Yay, this lovely lady. I was almost trying to steal the code, but I didn't. I didn't. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over the microphone to you. Thank you.
Will everyone bow their heads? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy
Good evening, everyone. How do I follow that? I'm not going to. I am Kia Stokes, our MWL Board Secretary. This will be very quick. I want to respect everyone's time. The 2022 MWL annual meeting minutes were sent to the registrants and group yesterday, so hopefully everyone had an opportunity to review them. So I'll give you a few seconds, just in case you didn't. So are there any edits or changes that need to be made to those minutes? If not, I will entertain a motion to adopt.
I move to adopt the 2022 annual meeting minutes.
Second.
Thank you. The minutes for the 2022 MWL annual meeting have been approved and now are adopted. Thank you.
Good evening. As the Fund Development Chair, I'm honored to stand here before you today to, So I'm honored to stand before you, united in our commitment to empower African Americans and others in underserved communities. I want to take a moment to thank our diverse group of sponsors and donors, from individual contributors whose generosity reflects the power of the commitment from our community, and our corporate and public sponsor whose support propels our mission forward. Thank you, and I want you to know that your contributions are the lifeblood of our organization, helping drive positive change in Wilmington and the greater Delaware community. I also want to thank Jennifer for her fantastic leadership. Ending the year for the inaugural Empowerment Breakfast was a fantastic milestone. Thank you to my colleagues on the board for your hard work and dedication and financial commitment to the affiliate. And again, thank you to our donors, big and small. I think what we learned over the last year, fundraising is a lot like cooking. So success takes the right blend of ingredients. So to our donors, whether you've added a pinch of generosity or a dash of corporate support, we see you, we value you, and we thank you. And you've all played a significant role in the recipe of success for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. So let's give a round of appreciation for the donors on the screen here. And I'll just say it 3 more times. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we look forward to continuing our partnership and growth in 2024.
Okay, once we get to the financials, this is usually where people's eyes glaze over. So we'll try to make it quick. But I was thinking about, what's a good way to sum up where we are? And I thought about the presidential addresses. Not that I'm presidential, but they say, the State of the Union is strong. I think what we can say is our financial state of our urban league is strong. So, round of applause to Jennifer under her leadership to get us there. At a high level, we have pretty much almost no debt. Our liquidity is very high. Our cash position would ride us through quite a number of months. Our net equity is actually up about 11%, almost 12% year over year. So things are generally moving in a very positive direction. We'll obviously, with the economy, have to keep a close eye on costs over the next year. But in all, I think really great work on fundraising and growing the league. And I think for now we're in good shape. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Kari DeWitt. I'm president of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Guild. We are one of the volunteer organizations, and our goal is really to provide volunteer hours, raise funds, and support the Urban League affiliate. We were founded in 2005, and we are one of 42 chapters across the nation. In 2023, we're proud to have done several things, including volunteering at the Sunday Breakfast Mission, the Wilmington Library, and hosting some health disparity panels. In 2023, we plan to continue that and continue to raise funds. So in conclusion, I welcome you to join us in the Guild if you're interested in volunteering. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. So, good evening all. My name is Kenyon Wilson. I serve as president of the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Young Professionals. And this year was a very good year for us. I do want to just say that I do have the honor and privilege of serving and being in front of you guys this evening. Just to give you a little bit more background about what the YPs are, because a lot of people are here. What are the young professionals? What do you guys do? So we are we also are a volunteer auxiliary of the Urban League, which we target young professionals between the ages of 21 and 40, serving their communities in a myriad of efforts. Our mission really is to support the affiliate in what we do, but also provide our members through personal and professional development, mentoring, economic empowerment, political engagement, and leadership development programs. So the YPs have a history of attracting young talent, black and brown young professionals that have gone on to serve in a number of leadership roles in the state of Delaware. So what I can say is over the last year, we've had a very good year when it comes to engaging with not only our community, but also the broader Urban League network. So much so that this year in 2024, we will be hosting the regional conference for the young professionals. So very excited about that. This year, just to highlight some of our key programs, we have our Joint Week, which occurs in February of the year, our National Day of Service, our YP Fit, and our National Day of Empowerment, which we just celebrated, and we just had a few events. One of our key partners, which is here, which is Chase Bank. Just to highlight some of our donors that supported our National Day of Empowerment was Reach Riverside, Ultimate Scholastic Staffing, Wilmington City Council, and Delaware State University. Other than that, I will end with this. I want to acknowledge and give a shout out to many of our members that are here today. I see you guys, and I appreciate you. And the growth and the engagement you guys have shown us this past year has outdone the last few years, and hope for many years to come of increased engagement. So thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tamara Smith, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Assistant Secretary for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Board, and I presided over our election process for our 2024 officers. We held our election through December 4th through December 8th. We held the voting process electronically, and 100% participation was recorded from all of our members. It is my honor to introduce the 2024 Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League Board of Directors and Committee Chairs. When I call your name, please stand. Our 2024 Chair is Joel Coppage. Vice Chair is Brenda Wise. Treasurer is John Singer. Our Assistant Treasurer is Lee Ariano. Our Secretary is Yesenia Paris. Our Governance Committee Chair is Pia Stokes. Our Human Resources Chair is Stephen Williams. Our Finance Committee Chair is also John Singer. And our Fund Development Committee Chair is Ron Kimbrough. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you for your service this year, and thank you in advance for your continued service going into 2024. Thank you.
Chairman's board? Me? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Which one is it? This one here? Okay. Okay. First, let me congratulate the board, and now that we have the election of the officers, thank you for stepping up and stepping into these significant roles. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every single one of you for doing this. The work that we do is so vitally important, so I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So now I have the honor of presenting this year's Chairman's Award. Gotta get it right. I'm not used to this. Okay. This year, I picked an individual who I consider a very hard-working individual. Totally dedicated, reliable, deeply passionate regarding the support that this person gives the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. I know that this is a person that I can call at any time of the night or day or send a email or text. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we argue, sometimes, but at the end of the day, we get right to it and we get to the business of what we have at hand. She's an attorney by trade, worked at the OMB. She's currently the Associate General Counsel for the CSC. I don't even know what that stands for, but she'll tell us. I just know it says CSC. So this year's winner is Brenda Wise. Okay, you get it? All right.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I have the distinct pleasure of presenting the Francine C. Oates Award. And this award goes to an exceptional person on the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League staff for their exceptional success and dedication to the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League's mission. Now, this year's recipient is often one of our team members who's in the background, but he makes sure that we are financially sound. And so he is always crunching the numbers, working hard with our finance committee on the board. He's always making sure that we are a financially healthy organization. And if any of you all are in organizations, you know that the finance person is one of your most important people, because if you don't have finances, you cannot run an organization. So this year, the Francine C. Oates Award is presented to our Chief Financial Officer for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, Keith Dorman. Congratulations, Keith.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Keith. And I think it's now time for, I believe it's my remarks. I think a couple of slides. We have a couple of slides to go there. Thank you. So good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the 2023 annual meeting for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. We have had a phenomenal year. I'm going to say that again because I'm hoping somebody will clap. We have had a phenomenal year. And so before I go into the report, I definitely want to honor and certainly acknowledge all of our staff members that are here this evening. And so if you are a part of the MWUL staff, if you could please stand. Please stand to be acknowledged. Thank you. We are a small but mighty team, and certainly this work is not possible without dedicated team members, and I thank all of you. Since 1999, here at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, with the vision of our founder, James Gilliam, the Urban League has made an impact on Wilmington and the entire state of Delaware. The National Urban League movement, with 92 affiliates, has directly, this year alone, has served 3 million people and has over $500 million in operating dollars, making the Urban League movement the largest historically African-American civil rights organization. And here in Wilmington, we are a part of that. So my task this evening is to really tell you about all the amazing work that we have been up to this past year. And I'll just do some highlights, as many of you have our beautiful annual report, and you can certainly read so many of our highlights through our programs. So next slide. So with our youth and education programs, we have impacted close to 120 students who have received career readiness and college preparation through our Achievement Matters program, which is a college preparation program for high school and middle school students, and also our Yes We Tech program, which is a program that is a summer internship for rising juniors and senior students. We have impacted, again, 120 students, and certainly shout out and thanks to Tech Council of Delaware with Yes We Tech, and also Code Differently, who are amazing partners, and for our partners with Achievement Matters, and that's Eastside Charter School, AI, DuPont Middle School, Howard High School, and also Thomas Edison High School, Thomas Edison Middle School. We also had 2 students this year from funding from State Farm and also the National Urban League who attended the National Urban League Youth Leadership Summit in Houston, Texas in the middle of July. Let me put that out there, in the middle of July. And so this was a first for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, and we were glad that we were able to send 2 youth as a part of our Project Ready program. And again, that is a partnership with the National Urban League and also State Farm. Next slide. With our leadership development programming, we have impacted this year 13 leaders were cultivated to empower the state of Delaware through policy research and coalition building through our Gilliam Fellows program. Over 90%, consistently each year, over 90% Gilliam Fellows increase their knowledge of Delaware policy change, methods, and processes. And we're so thankful that this year we were able to also partner with one of our great partners, DuPont, and host our Gilliam Fellows graduations on DuPont's campus. So we give it up for DuPont on tonight for that partnership. You can go to the next slide, advocacy. Our advocacy department, advocacy is the backbone of the movement. We cannot just do programming, we also have to do advocacy as well. And special shout out to Kobe Owens, who is in the back, who is our advocacy manager. And I also want to point out Tria Stallings, who is our youth programs manager, and is responsible for growing our Achievement Matters program. But in advocacy, over 1908, if you all know me, you know I like that year a lot. So that was a little bit of an insider there. So over 1,908 Delawareans empowered on issue campaigns leading to the passage of 7 legislative bills around fair housing, education, and also workforce. And we have 6 legislative bills slated for 2024. That's the advocacy work that we do here at the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. And then I'm so excited, this year we launched a great program, and again, shout out to Kobe Owens, our advocacy manager, where 11 justice-involved folks have gained skills on community organizing, the legislative process, financial literacy, digital literacy, and public speaking skills through our Rise Up program, in which we have partnered with group violence intervention to make sure that we can get over those skills so that folks will understand the legislative process as they continue to work with reentry. That is impact. Okay, perfect. And we are, many of you all, when you sat down, you did see that you have a card around COVID-19 vaccination awareness. And if this is your second or third event with the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, you have received that card before, because we are all in against COVID-19. And so that means that we have a campaign statewide to ensure that our communities are vaccinated. And so we have impacted to date over 4,000 Delawareans, and we have reached them for COVID-19 vaccination awareness through, again, our All In campaign, which is a partnership, a national partnership with the CDC and also the National Urban League. And so we're really thankful for that. And if you have a card, please, and you are already vaccinated, share the word and spread the word to someone else in the community, because we need to make sure that our communities are vaccinated. We also have partnered with the Delaware Health Coalition, and for 21 students who received free physicals back in September during our first annual back to school physical event. And I will tell you, I had a chance to talk to one of the parents who had 4 students, and to be able to get a physical, it would have cost $50 per student. And so because of our event, this parent saved close to $200. If anyone has been to the grocery store lately, that is a lot of money. And so for her, she thanked the league for doing this event. Again, we shout out the Delaware Health Equity Coalition for being our partner, and certainly Dr. Sydney Teal, who is a Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League board member. So thank you. All right, so we are at housing. Our housing, we have continued the DHAP program for the first half of the year, and we impacted 70 clients who received rental referral services through our Community Navigator program. And then we also indirectly touched 500 Delawareans who were impacted by our housing programming with the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. We also, through our first-time home buyer home ownership program, an initiative, we have impacted 400 program participants who have received indirect resources to owning their first home. And certainly want to give a huge shout out to Discover Bank and Stepping Stones, and then also Mary Harper, who is our HUD certified counselor, for leading our first-time home ownership program, and will continue to lead that in 2024. All right. And last, next slide, workforce. Yes, all right. And so our workforce program, we have had the great opportunity to partner with Trades Future initiatives. And if anyone has ever heard of Trades Futures, what they are calling Trades Futures and this initiative to get Black and brown folks into the building trades is one of the largest initiatives of building trades since World War II. Let me just say that again. It is the largest initiative to get Black and brown folks into the trades since World War II. And so we are really excited to partner with Trades Future and also the National Urban League to impact at least 80 Delawareans through this program. In addition, I'm so excited, and I'm hoping that you all visited the table with my good friend Tariq Hook from Code Rhino Tech, and we have launched an app. We have an app. There's an app for that. MWUL has an app. And so this is a way to engage our members further, and we are expected to impact close to 2,000 Delawareans with this app alone. Next slide. I believe this is the last one. I'm getting the time card. So, our empowerment breakfast, our board chairman did reference our empowerment breakfast, and I am so glad with our first inaugural empowerment breakfast, we were successful. 177 folks attended the breakfast. That deserves a round of applause. $64,000 raised, and we were honored to give out 5 empowerment awards to Discover Bank, to M&T Bank, and then also our community workers and leaders as well. So this has been a phenomenal year, but what I always like to say, 2024 is right around the corner. And I always like to quote this from Dr. King. If you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But by all means, let's keep on moving. Let's keep on building. Let's keep on empowering. And please, please, please continue to support the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. And so one of the programs that I did highlight in my report was the Gilliam Fellows program. And I am so excited this evening we have the pleasure of hearing from one of our esteemed alum as our keynote speaker. Senator Marie Pinckney is certainly a mover and shaker in the state of Delaware, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds as we continue building an even greater Delaware. And so, without further ado, I'd like to bring up our keynote speaker, Senator Marie Pinckney. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. One thing about me when I speak is I like to have audience engagement, so I will be asking y'all to talk back with me. Congratulations. I am so proud to hear all of the amazing things that the Urban League has done just this year alone. Phenomenal numbers were put up. Phenomenal feedback and engagement with the community has been done just this year alone, and it's such an amazing honor to be able to have heard it. I have a question for y'all. When you think about the Urban League, what's one word that comes to mind? Just one word. Empowerment. Empowerment. Advocacy. Community. Thank you, Tam. That's the word I was going with. When Jen asked me to speak a couple of months ago, I had two thoughts. The first thought was, this is going to be the easiest speech I've ever given because she asked me to talk about how the Urban League impacted my trajectory to the legislature. My second thought was, I wonder how much time I'm going to get because the Urban League has impacted so much more than just me being in the legislature. I can look around this room and see the different ways that the Urban League has been ingrained in my life since I first found the Urban League in 2019. But I will start with the work that I did. In 2019, I got this crazy idea to run for office. One of the craziest things I've ever decided to do, because one of the things I like to tell now that I'm in there is, I had never been inside a leg hall at all until after I got elected. So for whatever reason, I thought that running for office was something that I could do, and I did. And when I started, I had no idea what I was going to do or how to do it, but I found the Gilliam Fellowship on Facebook. And I had been at that point telling a few people what I wanted to do and that I was thinking about running for office, and I got a lot of laughs, which is understandable because I had not been involved in politics ever. But I went into my Gilliam Fellowship interview with Drew, Eugene, and Kyle Shepard at the time. And I told the three of them that Eugene asked me my 5-year plan, and I said, this year I'm going to run for office to be in the state legislature, and in 5 years I'm going to run for the U.S. Senate. You can scrap that second one, I don't want to do that anymore. But what did not happen when I said that, there were no laughs in that interview. Each one of them looked me dead in my face and continued to listen. I saw Eugene lean over and give Drew a little whisper. And the next day, Drew called me and said, let's get started. No one had taken me seriously as they did in that interview. Surprise, surprise, they were right for betting on me. But that was just the start. When I joined that Gilliam Fellowship, that fellowship changed me. I grew in that fellowship. One of my most profound moments, you might remember this, Monica, because Monica was in the fellowship with me. Before COVID, because we got shut down and had to go virtual, but before COVID, before that happened, we were in the library for one of our sessions, and one of my best friends, who I met in the fellowship, Nigeria, was speaking. And I don't remember what she was speaking about, but whatever she said got me so excited that I spoke up for her and just cheered her on and gave her so much praise. And after I finished speaking to her, the whole room got silent. And I was like looking looking around like, did I say something wrong? And Sade said to me, I have never heard you speak so loud the entire time that you've been in this fellowship. Because, quiet as this cap, I'm a quiet person. But that was the day when I realized I had to find my voice. Because if I was going to do what I was set out to do, people had to hear me. And it was only because I sat in that room with all them black men and black women who were trying to do amazing things that I decided I had to find my voice, and I did that in that fellowship. In this place where every single one of us just knew that we had something to do. We had work to get done. And even though we didn't quite know how to do it, the fellowship put us in a position to figure it out. It put us in the room in front of people to figure it out. And so I think that's the story that Jen wanted me to tell. But there's so much more to the Urban League for me than that. Like I mentioned, I met my best friends in that fellowship. 3 of my best friends are your board members, Pia, Tam, and Brenda. In the fellowship, one of my other best friends, Sierra, started, her project was a book club. It's called It's Lit. She started her book club at the library. And in that first book club, I met someone who I did not know several years later would become my wife. I met Rose in that book club. So y'all can tell my wife, thank you. I mean, my wife can thank y'all because it's to her that where I met her. Coach Boone was my softball coach. The reason that I went to college, because when we were playing softball my senior year, Coach Boone was like, y'all need to go to college, y'all need to go to college. And little did Coach Boone know, I was not interested in going to college. Had no thoughts about it. As a matter of fact, when he told me that we needed to go to college, I had 2 weeks left before I was able to, before the deadline to apply to Del Tech. But I went because Coach Boone said we had to go, which is one of the most amazing things she's done for me. He also gave me a shot at softball, which was the only sport that I was like a little bit good at. I am not coordinated, so I don't know how that worked out, but Coach Boone made it work. The Urban League is all up through and through me. And that's why community was the word that I thought about. Because this is my community, you are my family. We do not just do work in our communities, although that most likely is the most important work that we do, but we build community among one another. Kenyon, when you were speaking earlier, I'm not gonna give what your plans are, but you talked about the ways in which the young professionals are seeing ourselves go forward, but also go backwards. And I don't think that unless you are among a group of people who understand that and who are experiencing that, you know what it feels like. There is a validation that you get from being in the room with people who are experiencing the same things that you are experiencing while you were just trying to help your community. And it is because of you in this room, and my Gilliam Fellows, and my YPs, and the Guild, that we get to get poured back into as we pour ourselves into our communities. So, although those were amazing numbers that were up on the board, they're more than just numbers. Those are lives that are changed. Those are communities that are transformed. And so my final words are just thank you. Thank you to the Urban League for living up to every single mission and objective that you state for yourself and for changing my life.
Let's give our senator another round of applause, please. Well, I would say that this has been one moving, very moving, very moving. I'm gonna say it again, very moving moment. Very inspiring, Senator Pinckney. I introduced myself, she was standing over here, and I said, tell me about yourself. She said, you're gonna have to wait. I wanna talk about that, you're gonna have to wait. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I don't know about you, but I am fired up and I am ready to go. And what I mean by that is for 2024. If you thought 2023 was great, 2024, we're gonna set it on fire. So when I say I'm fired up, I want y'all to say I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Oh, you don't sound right. I'm fired up. Ready to go. I'm fired up. And I'm ready to go. I want to give a thank you again to, where's our Jennifer Bush from the Delaware Children's? She left. Well, thank you to her. I want to thank you to the board. Can I have all the board members again, please stand? All the board members now. Thank you to the board, hard-working board. Very much appreciate all the work that you do. Very much. I want all the staff to stand again one more time. This is the team. This is where it happens. And Madeline, that voice. See, you've been hiding from me. I know some things now. I thought I knew you. Thank you so much. All the members, anyone here that is a member and a friend of the Urban League, please stand so we can acknowledge you. I see some faces here that I don't know, so you're a friend. Just please stand so we can acknowledge you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our volunteers, our young professionals, guilds. Please stand so we can acknowledge you as well. One last time, thank you for all that you do. Look at the guild, look at the young professionals. This is the future. Thank you. And finally, I want to thank the donors and contributors, but I want to end it with this and just say, very seriously, the Urban League, at a time our country and our state could not be facing more. The situations that we have in this country is so serious. This is what we do. The Urban League now has to step into that space and say, how do we address the issues, the day-to-day issues? You see it on the news every day. I know what I watch, and I know what I see. And I know this, organizations like this that make the difference. Thank you so much. For the board members, we are going where now?
Take pictures.
Take pictures?
Yeah.
We're gonna take pictures?
Yeah, we're doing that.
Okay, so board members don't leave, we'll take pictures, and everyone else, thank you so much for coming, we appreciate it. We are adjourned. Thank you, Gina.